Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is a Chicago Changeling scene. If you are not the minimum age of 18, please immediately turn your computer off and go wash your eyes out. And say some Hail Marys. We begin the scene at the Court of Spring. For some reason, both of you were invited to breakfast tea.
So Vinny the first thing that he did was they were brought over to like Nebby's house and everything. Well, Nebby, like, he broke into Nebby's house again and talked with her. I'm not gonna
How?
Okay, this time when she was running water for the sink, which you remembered when she washes her dishes, he used the reflection of the water in the sink to teleport himself through it like it was a mirror.
She's going to scream bloody murder. Just scream bloody murder.
You're so lucky Billy's already left for work.
He'll like smile and he'll say, I told you I would find ways to break in."
So I can't do dishes now. Is that what you're telling me?
We'll see. He pats her shoulder.
He's not back yet, is he? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I got an invite to Spring. Did you as well?
I did.
I suppose we should go together then.
Yeah. She'll go over to the chest of drawers. Open it. Take a long look at the mask her brother made her. Oh, God.
You will notice your brother has added other random little trinkets that he's either made himself or he's had others make, like a little bitty bird brooch made out of wiring and copper and a string of pearls and stuff like that.
I think I'm actually, instead of, going with the mask, like the bird brooch, the wire bird brooch. I mean, it's still the plain-ish kind of modest cut.
Yeah, like it's modest. Like the most decal it has is he took a shiny little, like those rocks that look almost like quartz you can find anywhere.
Oh.
He took one of those and he chipped a piece off for the eye. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Kind of fluff the hair out a little bit, put it back.
Vinny gonna show some skin.
Is Vinny?
Yeah, Vinny will show some skin.
Of course. Vinny so belongs in Spring.
Yeah, with Angelo. Oh, God.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no thanks. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Vinny.
Well, he's wearing something simple, but it's very elegant looking. He added a splash of color with a tie, and he's wearing suspenders.
So, you're headed over to the club now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
When you get there, you notice the doors are still painted to look like they're gold, but the walls have been changed in color. They're more like a peacock green, and there's like little decals of gold and blues and even a couple of little red and purple decals throughout it. And someone has swept, scrubbed, and polished the walkways leading to the doors.
That immediately makes Vinny raise a brow.
He's back, isn't he?
That or someone else went into power.
Do I need to go back and get the mask?
No. He offers his arm to her.
She'll take it.
He escorts her inside.
It's been cleaned up. It is a lot more posh and nice looking than Angelo had it. Angelo had it decently nice, but there was still dirty surfaces and junk because, opium den. But you've also noticed all the opium's gone. All the pipes for it.
I would take it Angelo is gone.
Like, there's a single room that's titled Angelo's Domain, and that door seems to be locked at the moment, but other than that, I mean, it's still the same color scheme of dark reds, golds. The roses and other flowers have been replaced with white and pink ones. The stage is set up, Lorraine performing on it.
But it's not like debauchery.
The closest to debauchery you get is occasionally like Lorraine will stick her ankle out or like shimmy like she's going to drop a sleeve during the performance and then quickly stop. She's basically being a cock tease while she performs.
Yeah, typical Lorraine. But
she's going to smile. I mean, like a half a smile, not like grin from ear to ear, but like a half hopeful, half a smile.
Vinny will scan to see like where they need to go.
The actual breakfast tea is being hosted where y'all normally visit with Angelo up the spiral stairs on the little balcony thing.
Vinny will guide her up.
Is it still wrought iron?
It's still iron, yes.
Oh God.
But somebody has taken carpeting and rolled it up the stairs.
Okay, so it's blocked off.
Okay, yeah.
It's actually like a blush pink carpet with like little flecks of gold on it.
Yeah, so Vinny is guiding Nebula up the stairs. He's glancing at all the different changes, taking note of everything, eidetic memory, keeping it locked in his mind.
I like the color scheme.
It just seems a little too intense for me still.
Well, I've been told I can be a little intense, Mr. Vinny.
He smiles.
I figured while the boss, His Majesty, is away, we could at least tidy up and keep the money coming in.
Why don't we figure out for a new boss? I mean, from what I understand...
Well, I would need him here for a new boss. The new boss would have to challenge him and strip him of his mantle.
From what I understand, his mantle should be stripped because of who he is.
Correct. But again, without some kind of challenge or the monarchs to fight him, there's no way to strip it from him without him being here from the hedge.
I see, and that's why he's not coming from the hedge. He's terrified of having his power taken from him.
I wouldn't say terrified. He's planning. Angelo's anything but cowardly.
Well, that's fine.
Please have a
That
seat.
gives us time to plan too.
There are tiny little quiches, muffins, tea, and sweet little sesame roll style desserts on the table with fruits.
Vinny makes himself a little plate. It's nothing like major, and he eats daintily like he normally does.
Because
Just,
he's a pretty girl.
yep. He nibbles quietly, and he glances to Nebby.
She's gonna take a couple of quiches and a couple of rolls, like the little muffin things. The sweets are probably a little too sweet. She's more of a salty craving.
I have a question.
I might have an answer.
Seeing as our Spring King, or not our Spring King, your Spring King,
Yes. What about him?
seeing as he is not here, those that join the Spring Court, they would not be bound by any sort of contract. Is that correct?
They would, because he's never been one to approve or disapprove members. Margaret and I are the ones who accept members in the spring. We are the acting. What's a good way to put this? We both share the position of queen.
I see. And among these contracts, none would be self-sacrificing among someone. Would it?
I don't think so. I mean, each contract is different based on the individual and what they seek when they join us.
I see. Vinny turns and looks to Nebby.
She's gonna cock an eyebrow and turn to look at Vinny and stuff the rest of a quiche in her mouth so that she doesn't have to speak right at that particular moment.
Saying someone like, say, if Nebula was to offer her services among the court, what would a deal be that you would strike upon her?
Well, she would have to give part of whatever glamour she collects. Usually we take one for every 3 glamour you collect.
I see.
Other than that, it would be personal, but you would have to leave the room and her and I talk. Depends on what she would seek from us, what we would ask for repayment from her.
Vinny glances to Nebby. Would you want me to leave the room for this, or would you want to talk with her privately?
It's kind of a requirement for our quarters.
He's not here, I'm safe.
I see. So, what Vinny does is
Oh God, you're gonna do the walls heaviers, aren't you? Oh God.
Vinny. Did they go through a door when they came up the steps? I doubt it, right?
It's an archway, it's not an actual door.
And there are plenty of areas where he can remain still, right? That nobody would see him.
Ish?
I mean, there's an archway, unless people are guarding the archway.
I mean, no, there's a couple statues there that look weird. They look like they're made out of black iron, but other than that, no.
Oh God. Vinny, please don't get me killed.
Mr.
Vinny just finds himself a dark area where he hides himself because he's going to observe.
I am literally trying to check now to see how that would work between a bright one and a darkling.
Yeah.
Vinny basically goes and hides into a corner, and he makes himself invisible.
Okay. I'm done reading the bright one and the court book. I know how I'm gonna do this. You're not spotted. I'm not gonna make you roll for it. This succeeds. You can see them talking, but it's almost like hushed, like garbled whispers. You hear it, but you don't understand what they're saying.
Oh, I get it. So
I was having to check the freehold stuff for this also.
that's cool. So Vinny tries to listen in, and basically what he does is he goes invisible, and he's over there with them, but he can't hear anything. But he's still like there in case something happens to Nebby.
So, Miss Nebula, now that we're alone, what do you desire? But by the way, she has handed her another cup of tea and has like grazed her fingers across her knee as she asked that, not caring about the tentacles at all.
I want to be with what's left of my family.
Ah, the bonds of familial love. We can try to help you with that with the contract, but I need you to understand. If someone's already dead, gone back to the other side, or just refuses to return to you, we cannot force them against their will. Do you understand?
I understand that completely. I mean, even if Mom is stormed out and doesn't ever come back, and I've lost her for good, they're still my brother.
And you'll always be with your brother. We would never take him from you. Not even Angelo or the fires of hell could keep us from keeping you with him. That boy needs his family more than he needs any of us.
Yeah.
What will you pay for that, though?
One out of every 3?
That's the standard fee. But since there's something personal with this, you would need to give something personal back. She's moved closer to Nebula.
Something personal.
Correct. Could be hair. It could be a promise. It could be blood. It could be something you care about that you wear daily. Could be a kiss. Could be your virginity. Everyone pays differently. It's what you think matters.
Would it have to be to him?
No. Like I said before, he has never approved a member of this court.
I am not willing to fuck him.
You don't have to fuck him. Margaret and I take that on because it's a way to keep him tame. It's not something we enjoy. It's like when you feed a feral dog because you want to take it home. You have to earn its trust first.
Her face is just kind of contorting.
Besides, it keeps him off Lorraine if I get down on my knees.
Yeah. If I show you something, will you not think that I'm coming on to you?
Sweetheart, I would be privileged if you were coming on to me, but I figured you wouldn't be.
And Billy's never to know about this.
Fair enough.
OOC, I'm sorry, Nebby, that Vinny's watching.
She's not like flashing her. I mean, because the damage is literally like collarbone to like knees. And so it's not like, she's, just flashing. She is not flashing the bright one.
Oh, come on. Anne wouldn't mind.
She probably wouldn't, but still.
Anne would very much appreciate it.
Ha. She'll reach out. She's like circling Nebula now. Like leaning back to the left and the right, looking over. Touches a couple spots. So, you want to give your pain? Vinny's so traumatized right now.
Yeah, Vinny's just kind of like looking between them like, Jesus Christ.
It isn't so much giving pain as much as it is I'm showing you
a secret. That's what you're giving.
But Billy is never to know.
No one but you and I will know.
But Billy lives because I look like this.
She has a really sad smile. She just reaches out and rebuttons the front of your outfit. All right, Miss Nebula. I will start the contract. Please close your eyes.
She'll do as she's bid.
Vinny can fill the contract. Nebula can feel the glamour of the contract.
As soon as the contract's being made, Vinny leaves.
There's a sharp sensation as she pricks both your hands. Her hand and then one of yours on the finger. And she puts both your hands together. And she goes, "Welcome to the Court of Desires, my sister." And then we'll kiss Nebula on the forehead. Because physical contact exchange. Because spring quarter. And with that, Nebula now has a 1-dot spring court mantle.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Where do I mark that?
It's usually marked in the merits area, or you could write a little description in like your other notes of what it is, like the smell of flowers or brisk wind around you, spring stuff related.
So under clarity touchstones, contracts, pledges.
She could smell like fresh cut grass.
Yes, you could. That is a spring thing. And
yeah. Under okay, well, I've stuck it under merits.
It is under merits. Yeah, you put it under merits. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, and with that, Anne will go to the entrance and go, "Vincent, you can come back now."
Vinny walks in. It was like he was just waiting there patiently.
Oh, I'm sure.
She quirks an eyebrow at him and then mutters something about shadowy whispers in her brightness.
He just smiles sweetly to her and just walks in.
Nebula, you want to describe your new mantle to your friend?
I guess it really would almost be like a faint. I mean, because it's not like mantle 5 or 3 or anything crazy like that.
Nope.
I guess it really would be like a smell of faint, fresh cut grass.
Vinny still isn't a member of the Winter Court, is he?
No.
Not.
He needs to.
I mean, we can handle that in this scene also if you want.
Okay.
Give me just a moment and I'll tell you what Anne's is, because I don't think I've ever told you guys what her mantle is presented like. Oh, why is my computer so laggy? I built this motherfucker 6 years ago. It should not be so laggy.
You know the best thing about his court is his skin is just going to be a little bit colder because it's only 1 dot mantle.
Ha. So her the light she gives off already as a bright one is more like, that cloudy spring sunshine where it's warm but you still have a breeze. That's how it is, and her scent is of fresh blooming blossoms and then ripe honey. And that is her mantle, because she only has 3 dots.
So did you form the contract?
Well,
see, totally knowing.
Yes, Vincent, we formed a contract. She'll pull out a small notebook with leather bound. This has all the dates of special events that Spring Court takes care of. All Spring Quarters are required to show up to these events. There's not many. It's only 5 a year. But you can wear whatever you want. You can do whatever you want within reason. All you really have to do is just show up and mingle for a few minutes. Depends on the event. We do Easter brunch and dinner. We do the masquerade occasionally. She's smiling at Nebula as she explains this.
I suppose as long as Angelo is king, I probably need to bring a bag.
A good way to put this: Angelo is the king in public. He doesn't do a lick of the work. Ever. The only thing he does is show up to parties when the monarchs are supposed to be there. And right now, that's not going to happen anytime soon if he's going to be sitting in the hedge stroking his sword.
I still can't believe that a Spring King doesn't believe in love.
To be fair, we are the court of desire, not love. But many of us believe they're intertwined. Angelo only believes in the love of self, nothing else. That's one of the reasons many of us use birth control of some type of method. Since he wants a child, we know how that would go, so we don't let him have it.
Yeah. Children require putting them above you.
And no offense to my king, our king, but he doesn't know how to put anyone above himself.
No, he doesn't.
But on to happier thoughts. Next week will be the first court hearing, since if Angelo's not back then, we'll be able to put a bounty out for him because he's forsaking his duties, which means we will probably contact a huntsman or a hobgoblin to help us capture him from the hedge. Oh, that's right, you're newly escaped. You do not know what a huntsman is, do you?
No.
They are being they are beings from the other side that aren't quite human or true fae. Many think they might be related to the true fae, though. They're kind of like mercenaries. They work for both sides. If a changeling hires them, you hire them. If a true fae hires them, the changeling better know how to hide.
Okay.
So they're not typically good, but they're not evil either. They're mercenaries, and that can be useful. Now, Mr. Vincent, I hear you've been playing with Mockingbird at the hospital.
I have.
Have you made any progress with her?
Not much, I'm afraid. She's less violent with me, but
Yes. It's kind of hard to control someone who lived both as a mirror and a hunter. Not quite sure how that happened, but I wish you luck. Something needs to be done. She's killed quite a few spring quarters before her capture.
he takes in a breath.
Not that
Only spring?
Hmm?
Only spring?
Oh, no. Before she was taken into the hospital as a patient, she was a hunter who mimicked. She confused people by wearing their faces. They thought she was a normal mirror. Then she would strike, rip them apart, and eat what she could manage to fit into her mouth.
Got it.
Her hands are like razor sharp blades of glass. I've seen her.
We call her Mockingbird because she is always mocking people and mimicking. And the most we can tell from what Greta and Weston could find out is she was a girl that went missing 10 years ago. She'd be about 15 now if she had never been taken. That's all we can tell you really about her. That and she prefers to be alone. Weston says she'll eat now when he gives her food, but he has to be quick or she'll try to take his hand also.
She lets me feed her.
Well, that's why I asked, silly. I mean, you're both mirrors, aren't you? I thought maybe
Yeah.
we would have a connection there, us others wouldn't. I mean, she lets Lorraine sing to her, but the minute Lorraine tries to get close, dangerous situations.
She lets me sit by the door, but I can't enter the room.
Yeah, that's about the closest other mirror skins get to her. I mean, if we could get her to actually talk, or if we could find someone who knew her when she was taken, that would help a lot. I mean, if we knew more about who her keeper was and what they did, we could understand the abuse she went through and, fix it. But
I
one of many things we need done.
I'm beginning to think she and I had the same keeper.
And who is your keeper, dear?
The matron.
Oh, that is a very sadistic lady there.
She
You don't have to tell me anything about her.
he nods.
I served for 20 years as a lamp above her. So, I get
I
it.
was a mere Snow White.
She kind of smirks. At least I could move. I had the whole roof to light up, but some of the other bright ones, not so much. They had glass coffin-like things they were put in, and they had to just lay there and glow.
She used me as a vain source. There were days that she came herself, I believe, but I suppose there was another woman.
If you mean the one we called the Queen,
He nods.
she's different. She's not the matron. She just has been with the matron long enough she knew how to survive and not go mad.
Nebby staring at the floor at this particular moment.
Anne has begun putting some of the cinnamon rolls in a little gift box and closed it. Now, for your first task, I need you to deliver these to the children at the hospital. Can you do that for me, Miss Nebula?
I would absolutely love to.
She smiles. Thank you. And you, she looks at Vincent. Can you make sure Weston eats something? The man
Of
worked
course.
so hard. If it wasn't for a nurse or me, he would not go to bed or eat.
He furrows his brows and nods slightly.
Thank you, she'll say with a smile. Now, I'm going to have to excuse myself because I have things to put in order still.
Nebby will give a slight bow.
She'll smile and she'll curtsy back.
Vinny will chuckle slightly and like turn and offer an arm as he is walking.
Thank you so much, brother.
And as y'all leave, you see it's Margaret on the stage now, and she's literally wearing nothing but a giant boa feather fan in front of her chest and a pair of panties as she does like this. She acts like she's going to show him stuff and then jerks the fan fully open while she's singing performance.
Nebby's gonna slightly shake her head as she walks out the door like, dear God, what have I just done? But okay.
Which, Vincent, you see some men just admiring it artistically and other men being complete scoundrels in the crowds.
Yeah. Vinny just shakes his head slightly and just continues on his way. And he wrote like
Lorraine's by the door eating an apple and waves as they leave.
he chuckles and he blows off a kiss towards Lorraine.
She licks the whole apple before she puts it in her mouth for another bite. Nebula's traumatized by mirror skins. That's what this name should have been called of this scene.
What was that?
Traumatized by mirror skins. Yes.
Nebby in the world of mirror skins.
Yeah.
On the way to the asylum, you see a little old man, and he has like a metal-looking spinning wheel set up, and he's working off a corner, talking about how he can make cloth for outfits, all for a nickel.
Vinny raises a brow.
Nebby's eyeballing the spinning wheel itself.
He'll motion him over. Come. If you can't afford a nickel, I'll trade in secrets or stories. Or names.
Vinny offers a nickel.
Nebby's just kind of no. She's just like, yep.
She
names.
She bites. He bites the nickel before he takes it and puts it away. He has to make sure it's real. And he'll start to spin, and you'll notice it's like normal brown wool yarn, but as he spins it, it's coming out as a like icy blue color cloth.
Huh.
Wow.
My friends call me Skin. This color seems to suit you, boy, and I'll hand him the cloth.
He'll take the cloth and he smiles softly.
Anything
Thank
for
you.
the madam.
Oh no. I was more interested in just watching the machine work.
Vinny pulls out another nickel. Yes.
He'll look her over. All right, then. Starts spinning it. It's actually like a multicolored cloth. Like, it's pale white, and then it's got like little green leaves and like periwinkle, like violety, purple little flower things on it.
And she's looking at the brown skin, and then like or like the brown skein, and then like, you know, just absolutely fascinated.
Be sure to tell all your friends that Skin does the best cloth, as he hands it to her.
She'll nod and take it and thank him.
He gives her a big toothy grin. She will notice every tooth in his mouth is made of gold, by the way. And he just, besides that, he looks like a normal, wrinkly old man.
Thank you, Skin.
Jesus Christ, I think I just talked to Rumpelstiltskin.
I know, right? It is Rumpelstiltskin.
Name the scene. Like, as they leave, you could hear one woman talking about trading her firstborn for gold cloth.
Dear God. Do I get a glimpse of this woman?
She looks like a normal woman. Like, she was like, I'll pay you anything, and he was like, then you'll give me your firstborn. And she's like, if I must.
Oh,
She's like, I cannot displease Angelo. I need that gold cloth.
oh my God.
Nebby's eyes are like bugging out of her head.
And a few minutes later, you see her hand a baby to him and take gold cloth. And then a car goes by, and when it's done passing, him and the machine are gone. And so is the baby.
Is the woman still there?
No, she's already walked off.
I'm just gonna stare at Vinny.
Vinny is just blinking. That man was a true fae.
The fuck did I just see?
He was Rumpelstiltskin.
Little boy voice behind him.
He turns.
Skin is not a true fae. He's a hobgoblin. I think that's what they're called when the hedge touches them too much. The point is, he's not going to hurt the kid. If he senses somebody's selfish or evil, he offers the children as a price, and he just takes them home and raises them. That's it.
Oh.
So he adopts the children to save them from cruel parents.
Basically, I mean, he's not perfect. He can be strict and stuff, but he's not bad for an old dude. Now, I made $5 today. Can I buy myself a cake?
Is this Billy?
Yes.
Absolutely, my dear.
I'm also buying steak, he says as he marches off.
Steak?
Vinny chuckles slightly and just continues to walk towards the hospital.
I'm following.
As you enter the hospital, you've noticed there's this line of like blankets and pillows leading to the playroom. and random little pieces of cardboard.
I'm gonna sneak up and take a peek.
The children have built a giant children's-style castle with a cardboard sign that says, "The Toy King's Home."
She'll look over at Vinny.
Vinny will curtsy and then walk towards the Toy King's home.
And while he is engaged in this, I'm going to sneak over and go to Weston's office and give it a knock.
Come in.
She'll peek in the door.
He's sitting there with a notepad out, and there is one of the younger kids laying out on the patient sofa.
I can come back later.
No, it's all right. We're doing hypnosis.
I come bearing gifts. And she'll pull out the the box.
Oh, yes. The children love those. And I see you met Skin.
Yes. I was quite upset by something I saw, and my brother assures me that it's quite all right.
Yeah, most of the kids he raised end up moving in with my children, he says, motioning to the playroom, so it's okay.
And you need to eat one yourself, Your Highness.
Anne told you on me, didn't she?
Yes, sir, she did.
No
She'll
telling.
put the box down and push it towards him.
I'll like take the smallest one out of the box and nibble on it. No telling Vinny.
No telling him what? That you took the smallest one?
No, that I have a lack of appetite when I work. I don't need my patient worrying.
Vinny already knows.
He's gonna smile. She's starting to put two and two together. She is not wanting to put two and two together. Nope. Head in the sand.
Like between bites, he'll say to the child, like, you still smell the water. It's rising up around you. You know, you see a tunnel, just stuff like that. Which the child hasn't even responded to Nebula coming in the room.
You still need to eat.
I'm eating. He's like eating between words. Didn't I hire you to tend the children, not me?
It kind of goes with the territory. If I like,
he does a shoe motion. Go feed the children.
She'll bow, take the box and kind of scutter off, and really quiet. Shut the door.
As the door closes, she hears him say to the child, "And when you wake up, all the toads and the teeth will be gone."
Aww.
Oh. So she'll go in with the with the box, and what do I see Vinny do with the kids?
Vinny is in the middle of the castle. You can't fully see him except through the doorway. They've somehow made a great doorway. And they've made him a crown and a scepter. They've pulled like pillows in there to make a throne for him. And
Vinny is just kind of like lounging back in the cardboard and like acting like a true king with the kids.
The kids have brought tributes of like different desserts and sweets. One kid got into Weston's secret stash and brought a bottle of whiskey to him.
She'll point at the child with the whiskey. Motion, like, come here, like with her index finger.
Gives Nebula a stern look and dives into the castle.
She'll put the sweets down and like dive right in after him. Like,
I can't, holding the whiskey out.
Vinny like acts all regally, like walking towards the kid, and he offers a handout towards the whiskey bottle.
He hands it to her.
Thank you, but please, next time you give me something that you've brought yourself and you haven't taken from others.
All the kids look upset. Which means all the kids stole it.
He hands Nebby the bottle.
She
And
will
he
delicately, gingerly take the bottle and go to put it behind the nurse's station. Like, come back and open up the box.
Vinny started like giving each of the kids pats on their heads, and he says, "Now go take those back wherever you stole them from, okay?"
And whenever you get back, come here, and I have sweets for you.
The food they stole for their king was all from the kitchen anyway. They like all marched towards the hospital kitchen.
Oh, okay.
And then when they come back, it's like a little army of dark beings with glowing eyes staring at the cinnamon rolls.
She's got all of her hands, all the tentacles full of like handing out sweets.
Vinny brought Nebby to like where the throne is at and is making them go in single file line.
Like the last one to come up and get one is Rose, because she was busy outside. Which the mud has spread. It's now from her knees to her feet.
I'm probably going to have to wash your legs off, aren't I?
No. And she immediately goes back outside with the cupcake or cinnamon roll, whatever you want to call it.
She'll watch.
Like as soon as she goes outside, you will see her find a bench close to the muddiest part of the ground and will stick her feet back in knee deep into the mud.
She'll grin.
She's a flower. She must like the feeling.
Yes. Still, muddy prints.
You'll notice, like, they were there a moment ago. They're gone now. And Ruth is in the room now, putting a dirty cloth down the laundry chute.
She keeps you busy, doesn't she?
To be fair, Rose is probably the easiest child to deal with here.
I understand that.
I would say Mockingbird is probably the hardest. Or Big Bear.
Vinny offers a handout for a cinnamon bun.
She'll give him 2.
He smiles softly. And he goes over to Mockingbird's door.
He hears a scuttering motion inside.
I've brought food for us to eat.
His voice repeats, "I brought food for us to eat."
You know what Vinny does? He shapes his face. Should I spend a glamour for this?
Yes.
He spins a glamour and he shapes his body to be just a plain, like, reflective mirror when he opens up. So she can see herself.
You get a glimpse at first of dark hair and pale white blue eyes, and then it shifts to be a plain, like, reflective surface back.
He holds the cupcake up to the door. The door.
long talon-like fingers drag it through the food slot. They also try to grab his fingers too.
Yeah, he's careful so she doesn't hurt him. He tries in several voices to like talk with her, alternating between voices.
She'll alternate between voices also, and for the most part, if she doesn't exactly repeat back what he says, she abbreviates it.
Well, that's something better. Should I spin a glamour to revert back, or will I just revert back?
You can just revert back.
Okay. He reverts back. I mean, to be fair, like he had extra glamour from watching somebody get killed.
Yeah, so Ruth looks between Nebula and the doorway to Mockingbird and she goes, "Do you and Vincent want to stay and help me with Mockingbird's bath today? Today's the day I go in and clean her cell and take her to the showers."
Yes.
All right.
All right then. Miss Nebula will help me with the showering. It will only be appropriate since it's a female patient. And while we do that, Vinny, you can tidy up her cell.
Okay.
Never given her a bath. How do we handle this?
The first thing you see her do is she pulls out what looks almost like a headless Iron Maiden, minus also the needles inside it.
She'll nod. Put it on.
First thing we have to do is get her into this.
Mm.
This is when my ogres come into favor. As she opens the door, two big orderlies, you can tell our ogres have stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
She probably like bolts out the door.
She does, but not to run away. She's actually bolted at the door trying to attack Nebula.
She'll back away.
And she's wearing Nebula's face at the moment.
You know, when she does that, Vinny like snaps and jumps in front of Nebby and he hisses at her with like his like just pale glass eyes.
She looks momentarily confused and then shifts into Vinny's face and swings. Luckily, you guys have distracted enough, thanks to this roll, that as she swings, an ogre on both sides of her grabs her and puts her in the iron suit.
Wow. Okay.
Like every time she looks at a different person, her face shifts into their face.
Vinny like calms down, but the fact that just the thought of Nebby being attacked by her just kind of went him on full defense mode.
I also asked for your help so you could see not every child here is safe.
Poor creature.
Yes, she'll calm down once she gets in the water. She likes it. Vincent, the closet is across from her room if you need any cleaning materials. She shouldn't. The most she normally does is rip stuff up.
She probably has all the paper that I gave her.
Yes, I believe I heard her playing with it the other day.
He smiles softly at that.
So she shows Nebula where they take him to shower, and they turn the water on. Like every shower, they turn it on before they open her suit and let her out. Which she does not let anyone help her situate for the shower. She does that herself, and then she gets in the water and she's like watching the water. It's very interesting to her because reflective surfaces.
Mm.
Vinny, in her room, you've noticed that she has torn a lot of her stuff up. Like she's torn the heads off dolls and stuff, but like the paper she ripped up, she's been very careful and organized it in very specific patterns where it's like a collage style picture of like one's flowers, one looks like the set of drama happy and sad masks and stuff like that.
So she's been cutting them into shapes.
Like little squares that she then organizes on bigger parts of the wall and stuff, making pictures out of them. And like you notice, even though it has tears, she has books she's careful with also that she flips through.
He smiles softly. He takes the paper that's like debris and like can't unusable. He'll clean that all up and everything. And he'll make sure that things that are like precariously hanging and stuff, he puts up, like straightens it up for her to where it's like nice and neat. And what he does next is he takes one of the sheets of paper and he offers a drawing, and he like it's not like just like kind of stick figures, and he just kind of makes a picture of her and a picture of him, and he says he writes at the bottom of it, "We can be family."
Oh. Yeah, so that was actually fairly easy. The only other odd things you notice are there are things under the bed that make no sense for her to have, like things from around town, but she's not left the hospital that they know of. And there's like a raggedy piece of cloth, but it has like dried out. You don't realize it until you pull it closer to your face to see. It has ears from people dried out and strung across this cloth.
Dried out ears?
Yes.
Can he see if there's any like ways she could have gotten out?
You can try.
Should I roll for something?
Yes. You should roll. What is that roll? Hold on. I believe it is a investigation wits roll.
Okay, so can I use my acute senses with that? And I can use trained observer as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I have 5 wits, 2 investigation. That's 8 dice. Okay. I'm gonna roll an attack check on a different game. Sorry. What's the dip?
8.
Okay, I got And for the 8 again rule, I get double for 8s, right?
Mm-hmm.
So did he see anything with 8 successes?
You don't see a way she could have gotten out. Do you notice that the ears are rather old? She's had them for a while, and apparently just no one's noticed or looked under the bed when tidying up.
Oh, okay.
Ruth wasn't doing it, because you know Ruth.
That makes sense. Yeah, he cleans up under the bed and takes those ears out because she probably should be away from like that kind of stuff to get better.
Oh, was you done? Ruth and the ogres take the moment of the child being distracted by water and soaking wet to get her back in her iron suit and roll her back to her room.
Nebby is just going to try and talk with her, knowing that she's not really going to say anything of substance.
Not really of substance, but when Nebula talks to her, it is a little different. She wears Nebula's face, and she says stuff back in like a mocking, condescending, teenage kind of tone of voice.
Smile. I mean, because it's not, this is normal behavior. It's actually reassuring.
They get her back to her room, and she amazingly goes in there willingly. She doesn't try to fight it.
Can he tell if she goes to see, like, read the picture that he put up?
Not at first. The first thing she does is start like glancing under her bed and stuff.
Yep.
Which Ruth is very confused by and looks to him.
He slowly drops the ears down.
Ruth looks absolutely disgusted.
She was hiding these.
More than likely it's from her hunts before we got a hold of her.
Yes.
He is just going to kind of look at them. She's not disgusted by it. It's just like, okay.
She walks over to the picture that Benny left, looks at it, confused, very confused, and then looks at Ruth. What is this?
Did she say, what is this?
Yes. She's wearing Ruth's face while she says it, though.
I was saying we could be family.
What is that?
It's people that watch out for one another. They take care for one another.
She starts like in a very slow, predatory-like movement walking towards Vincent. Takes a hold of her door, looks Vincent right in the face wearing his family. I need no pack, and pulls the door closed.
What did she say?
I need no pack.
Aww.
She actually spoke her own thoughts.
Ruth thoughts, that is a very large improvement over just screaming yes or no. Welcome to our staff, is all Ruth says.
Welcome to our
Welcome to our staff.
Oh, he smiles softly.
And with that loveliness, Weston comes out of his office, leading the hypnotized child back to her room. Like, y'all can see a peek of her room when the door opens. It's like pink and frilly and tons of stuffed animals all over it.
Vinny turns and looks over to Weston.
Weston smirks. Did you need a one-on-one?
When he says that, Vinny looks away and blushes.
Nebby is putting 2 and 2 together, but is not saying a word.
Nebula's in the corner with Ruth eating popcorn.
I'm just watching this and grinning because I don't want to know, but at the same time,
He takes in a deep breath and then he walks up to Weston. You need to eat.
I already ate twice.
And how much did you eat?
Had a sandwich this morning and sweet bread just now, motioning to Nebula.
she'll just, wave her little fingers over.
I'm going to see you first thing in the morning.
He raises an eyebrow. Okay.
First off, you can't drink coffee without someone present, and you're too stubborn to let anyone help you.
I'm looking at Ruth at this.
Ruth is looking very confused also. He's like, what's wrong with my coffee?
Well, first off, you like it hot and not cold.
True.
And you're always disappointed whenever you can't have hot coffee. If you are to touch a cup, then you cannot have a cup of nice hot coffee.
True. Look, can you blame a man for wanting something hot inside him?
He blushes again.
He just boops Vincent on the nose with his snowy fingers. See you later, Vincent. In the morning.
In the morning.
Vincent feels like he's stuck his face in snow.
He shakes his face off.
And I think with that, we can end this scene.
Yep. Real quick question.
What's up?
Where's Fred and what did he think of the flowers? Or do I see him around at all? And the pencil case.
Fred, you saw him. He seemed happy with it. You also saw him in his room, which is covered in all sorts of art stuff. Although he has also put tons of tape over the little window each room has. It's not big enough any of the kids can get through. It's just enough to let them have sunlight.
Sunlight.
Oh, by the way, whenever we're done, I'm just going to say this, that what Vinny does the next morning is he specifically gets up early before Weston and he makes him breakfast and watches him eat it while he makes him drink the coffee.
And the second question is, where is Harry?
Harry is actually in the boys' bathing area.
Oh, okay. So he's taking a shower.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Nope. Not following kiddo in there.
And with that, we will end the scene at 1 hour and 15 minutes.